It's good news today that we get to share. We're excited to talk about an arrest that we're making literally as we speak on our murder that occurred in Sawgrass on Alhambra Drive back in February of this year. Alice Bowles, 92-year-old victim. We have developed some significant information over the summer, and I know the case generated a lot of publicity. We were not able to talk about a lot of the information we generated, but from probably midsummer on, we had a great degree of confidence that we had developed a suspect that ultimately is leading to the arrest today. Plain old-fashioned good police work, along with some CSI, some DNA that was collected at the scene, pointed us in a direction, and then one of Jack's Beach's hard-working detectives, Detective Watkins, Paul Watkins with Jacksonville Beach, knew about our homicide, had a suspect in a violent crime that seemed similar, called our detective, and the ball kind of got rolling from there, and we were able to put a lot of information together. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement came through in a hurry for us on our DNA evidence, and we were able to get a warrant last week for a suspect who is in the Duval County Jail and has been in the Duval County Jail for a few weeks. And as we speak, we have detectives interviewing this individual right now, and I was just called as I was walking out here literally to let me know that he had confessed to the murder as well. So that individual will give you his information and email out a photo, but it's Richard William Medeiros, 63-year-old male, and as I mentioned, he's currently in custody in Duval County now on a related charge. He's the individual, just to recap it a little bit, he's the individual that attacked a realtor while looking at prospective homes with a hammer up in Jack's Beach. I'm sure y'all remember it. That happens to be our suspect in this case. That's kind of the high points, and we'll have all the detailed information. Kevin has that coming out for you. Open it up for questions.
What's the connection between Alice Bowles and Miss Trippy in Jacksonville Beach?
He had an acquaintance that lived not quite across the street, but near Miss Bowles on Alhambra, and he visited that acquaintance and was in and out of the neighborhood.
What was the motive?
We are still working on that.
I know you had looked through the water at the time it was the water surrounding the home. Did you find any evidence in there that it helped find this guy?
Nope, we didn't locate anything in the pond. Just this one was good old-fashioned police work and kind of connecting the dots. So we're still interviewing him as we speak now. We have a couple of detectives up there and the state attorney who's been with us every step, has an investigator up there as well. So we're hoping to determine the motive and a couple of detailed questions that we're getting answers to literally as we speak.
At the time, all the doors appeared to have been locked and no forced entry. So how did this happen? Do you know yet?
We're working on how he gained entry as well. And it may be that he was known to her from being in the neighborhood. I mean, he was an acquaintance of one of her neighbors. So it may very well be that he was known to her.
Did he stay with this acquaintance or live with this acquaintance?
I think he did spend quite a bit of time there off and on. Don't know if he spent the night there, but he has been in and out of the neighborhood.
This acquaintance, was it a romantic relationship?
We're working on that too. It was a female, and I wouldn't hesitate, I would not term her a girlfriend, but we're working on that to see what he tells us today as well.
And so no motive right now?
Nope. Other than she, for whatever reason, we don't know if it started out to be a robbery, and you know, he was trying to maybe get some help from her or something. I mean, there's a lot of theories out there as to why he even went to her house, because as you know, she was not home during the day and had just arrived home. So we don't know exactly what prompted him to go to her house or what the chain of events were that ended up in him killing her.
You know his criminal history?
We know a little bit about his history. We don't find, there's not a big history there, some minor infractions, but there doesn't appear to be, from what we found so far, any serious or violent arrests.
Round the clock, your detectives, round the clock work for months, paid off?
Oh yeah, this was a very difficult case. The lead detective is here with us today, Detective Hines. Detective Kevin Roberts worked on this case. We had a lot of resources up there that night. And then we worked this case very visibly throughout the summer because there was some unrest in Sawgrass, as well there should be in any neighborhood where a homicide occurs. But we diligently pursued this case. We knew in the summer that everything was looking towards the suspect, and this is one of those cases when we got the DNA and some of our crime scene techniques that we collected that night came together for us and developed him as a real solid suspect. During the summer when this started emerging, we were much more optimistic that we're going to end up in an arrest. We couldn't come right out to the community and say you can sleep better at night because we know who the killer is and he's actually already in jail on an unrelated offense. But we, as much as we could talk about it, we did then. But it's always difficult without giving up a lot of the elements of the case to really wrap it up and bring it to a conclusion.